Today is decision day. What is Cody Bellinger's future, and is it with the Los Angeles Dodgers? Chip Kelly, to his credit, has reinvented UCLA's offense. We're going to take a little bit of a dive into what he's done. And speaking of the Bruins, UC Regents have kicked the can down the road regarding them leading the Pac-12. Good morning, I'm James. This is your daily dose of sports and snark for the greatest sports city in the world, Los Angeles. This is Faithful Angelino's Morning Report. So it is November 18th, 2022. It is a glorious Friday morning. I strongly recommend after watching this tape, going to maybe add a little sun to your life, right? Last night, I finally had a chance to preview this weekend's battle for Los Angeles between number 7 USC and number 16 UCLA. I am very much looking forward to this game. Feel free to take a peek at the preview. It's on USC's playlist and UCLA's playlist. Let me know what you think in the comments thread. Also, we added a new subscriber to the channel. Thank you for getting in on the ground floor. I appreciate every last one of you. And if you enjoy the content that we put out, clickety-clack the like button. Clickety-clack the subscribe button. There's a notifications bell. Hit that. It'll let you know when we drop new content. Sharing is caring. Let people know we exist. And yes, comments. There's been a lot of good stuff this week. You've got to have something to say. Now, quick look at the scoreboard. Last night, Kawhi Leonard made a surprise return to the Clippers. It didn't matter a whole lot. He only scored 6 points in 25 minutes, but still the Clippers get the win, 96-91 over Detroit. Tonight, those same Pistons will take on the Lakers at 7:30. How unstable have the Lakers been? Glad you asked. Only Austin Reeves has played in all 13 games this season for the Purple and Gold. Meanwhile, the Kings are up in Vancouver. That game also starts at 7:30. LA's defensive masterpiece in Edmonton included an astonishing 29 blocked shots. Make sure you give those guys some icy hot for the holidays. Terrific college matchup tonight in Las Vegas. Number 8 UCLA basketball versus number 19 Illinois. Look for freshman Adam Bona to face his first serious challenge in Illini big man Dane Danger. Danger scores 17.3 points a game, 9.7 rebounds per game. And by the way, USC basketball will play Mount St. Mary's at 8 o'clock. Drew Peterson leads the Trojans with 16 points per game, 6.7 assists. So Dodgers president Andrew Friedman, he's saying all the right things right now. He's saying, you know, LA still believes in Cody Bellinger. But the question is, how much do they believe in Cody Bellinger? You see, today the Dodgers either have to have an arbitration, to avoid arbitration, Cody Bellinger has to agree on a contract. If they offer him arbitration and he says no, he automatically becomes a free agent. So the sticking point is obviously time of contract. It's obviously money. He's a 27-year-old former MVP. And those don't grow on trees, obviously. Young, former MVPs. The problem is Dodger fans will tell you he has stunk up the joint worse than the bathrooms at the Commerce Casino for 3 full years. The last 3 years, the man has only hit 195. Now, Friedman said last week they were trying to work through what things look like, which doesn't tell you squat, does it? I mean, they can't lowball Bellinger. His agent, Scott Boras. And so you might be thinking, what happens if he doesn't get a contract today? It opens up a lot of possibilities, to be honest with you. Not just for an in-house prospect like a James Outman, or maybe putting Chris Taylor out in center field, but would that $18 million a year, which Bellinger would probably get in arbitration, could that go to other possibilities, other holes on the roster? Let me give you an example. Justin Verlander and his 3 Cy Young Awards. They're on the free agent market. Now, as a result, everybody assumes the Dodgers would be in whether they keep Bellinger or not. Every top-flight free agent automatically gets linked with the Dodgers. Have you noticed that, obviously? There's Aaron Judge. There's Verlander. Verlander, though, has one thing that Judge doesn't. Verlander doesn't necessarily want a long-term contract. The man is 39 years old. He's probably sitting there going, I'm in line for one final golden parachute. Whereas Judge, theoretically, being 31, would want something significantly longer term. So if you're the Dodgers, do you take a big, massive, ungodly sum of money, push it at Verlander, as opposed to taking a longer term, less ungodly sum of money and take Aaron Judge? See, if I'm the Dodgers, I give that strong consideration. If you could theoretically do something crazy for a 3-time Cy Young Award winner for a couple of years, as opposed to Aaron Judge for 7 or 8, you might look at that. Despite the fact that Judge hit an ungodly 61 home runs last year. Now, before we start talking a little more in depth about the Bruins and their offense, how they've redone it, I want to let you know they've added wide receiver Jeremiah McClure to the recruiting class of 2023. He's from Mater Dei. Not that Mater Dei. Mater Dei Catholic, that's down in Chula Vista. Having said that, just because he's not from that Mater Dei, he's actually pretty damn good. He's caught 33 passes so far this year, scored 10 touchdowns. It wouldn't surprise me if UCLA can figure something out with that guy. A friend of mine played Pac-12 ball. And he's a go-to guy for me when I want to talk strategy and this, that, or the other. He was convinced that UCLA last year was a bit of an aberration because Chip Kelly's offense relied on the read option. And he believed that defenses had figured out how to stop the read option over time. But the Bruins don't run this read option as much as they used to. We're going to talk about the little wrinkles that they did in a moment. Now, for those of you who don't know about X's and O's, not trying to talk down, basically what a read option is you got a running quarterback next to a running back. Both of them are theoretically, after the snap, going to attack the outside. In other words, the offensive line seals off the defensive lineman, and you are forcing the defensive ends or the outside linebackers to make a decision. That outside linebacker sees both a quarterback with the ball and a running back running towards him. It is literally 2-on-1. So if the linebacker says, well, I think the running back is more of a threat, and he goes out to take the running back, the quarterback keeps the ball going up the field. If the linebacker says, well, the quarterback has the ball, I got to be responsible, take him out first, quarterback dishes the ball off to the running back, and they get more yards just the same. Defenses have tried to basically string that out by adding more players going from sideline to sideline to try to keep that option from taking place. So Kelly has reinvented things on the fly to create mismatches. And a lot of them, the read option, you have to make a decision after the snap. What Chip Kelly is asking Dorian Thompson Robinson to do is to make more decisions before the snap. So The Athletic broke a lot of it down. I'd be lying to you if I said I have Kelly's playbook down. Of course I don't. But I do want to give you at least 2 things to look for when the Bruins play the Trojans on Saturday. If, for example, as a formation, you see trip bunch, 3 wide receivers to one side of the offensive line and a tight end to the other side of the offensive line, it is going to depend on where the middle linebacker lines up. It depends on what Thompson Robinson sees from the middle linebacker. One option is going to be for Robinson to run to the weak side, in other words, where the tight end is, and use the tight end as an extra blocker to seal off the middle linebacker. If, however, the middle linebacker cheats over a little bit, then the option is to pitch the ball to Zach Charbonnet, the running back, who would run in this direction where there would be 3 wide receivers to block for him. Okay? If, on the other hand, also prior to the snap, if you see USC's linebackers jumping all over the place, like they don't know necessarily what's going on, Thompson Robinson is going to take note and automatically call Charbonnet's number. Now, you might be saying to yourself, okay, James, so if I'm looking at USC's defense, what is the tell? Look for USC linebacker Shane Lee. Watch him pre-snap. For the Trojans, he has got to be patient. He's got to respect his assignment. If he starts cheating one way or the other, Thompson Robinson will figure it out. If all the linebackers start moving around because they don't know where it's going, Charbonnet obviously is going to have a running lane. Now, if there's one thing politicians and bureaucrats like to do to keep talking about the Bruins, it's to find a way to accomplish something controversial without having to face the music for doing something controversial. Yesterday, UC Regents claimed that UCLA moving to the Big Ten would be an action item on the agenda, unquote. As if by calling it an action item, something was actually going to happen. Yeah, something happened. They kicked the can down the road. They decided to call a special session on the matter December 14th. They didn't do squat. They delayed it for another month. Here's the problem that the UC Regents face in making a decision. There is not enough groundswell of hate against the move. There is some from a couple of politicians, Gavin Newsom, for example, but that doesn't necessarily mean that the state of California, that all of its residents are going to be behind somebody making a move. They're ambivalent toward it for the most part. So, I mean, it kind of reminds me of the Keystone Pipeline. I was once, not to go too political, I was once talking with a hardcore liberal comic friend of mine, and she was like, yeah, I hate the Keystone Pipeline, but I can't tell you why. Which made perfect sense, as strange as it sounds. I hate this, but I can't tell you why, seems to be the rationale for people hating UCLA leaving the Pac-12. The only thing I know for sure is that one regent claims that they have the authority to block the move. His name is John Perez. Here's the problem. There are 18 regents. He has one voice out of 18. I know of a state senator drafting a bill against the move. She is claiming that this is illegal because student athletes are limited to only 20 hours focusing on their sport per week. And that is true. The problem is that is an NCAA rule, and the NCAA did not include travel. Didn't include travel. He was talking about practice and stuff. Stop me if you've heard this before, but pundits are begging the Rams to rediscover the running game. That is apparently the plea since the offense is now without Cooper Kupp for at least a month. Here's the problem with that piece of wisdom. Kupp runs the jet sweep. So there's that. But I will say this, we do have a Liam Cohen sighting, the offensive coordinator who has yet to take any responsibility for the Rams' offensive problems. He was asked by the LA Times if the Rams abandoned the run too early against Arizona on Sunday. Maybe we did, he replied. Sterling insight. Sterling insight from the guy who envisioned this job as his ticket to coaching stardom. Well done. Will Ferrell, last seen sprinting around Bank of California Stadium in his tighty-whities holding the NMLS Cup, asked Cristiano Ronaldo to quit Manchester United and play for the Black and Gold. Now, I don't know how much pull the star of semi-pro has in international soccer. To be honest with you, though, I think LAFC already did a tremendous move yesterday by retaining Ryan Hollingshead. I think that's a much stronger move because LAFC doesn't have any offensive problems. Offense is not an issue. But hey, if you want to give yet another guy who got kicked out of the Premier League a golden parachute contract, you go right ahead. You go right ahead and do that. And by the way, I know a thing or two about old jokes. Running around in your underwear has been played out for the last 15 years, Will. Get new writers, please. 2 days ago, there was a cryptic tweet sent out by the Galaxy where it looked like they were about to acquire a big name addition. Now, I hate to say this because I genuinely like and respect the guy, but that was a hell of a lot of hullabaloo over adding AJ De La Garza for a one-day contract, just so he could retire as a member of the Galaxy. I think him retiring as a member of the Galaxy is absolutely the right move. He made his name with the Galaxy. He is revered by the fans. I revere him. But man, if you're going to tease something big, you get the idea. So don't get me wrong, it's heartwarming, but I feel if you feel like the rug was pulled out from under you, if you're a Galaxy fan, I totally understand. Now, if you enjoyed this content, for Pete's sake, leave comments in the thread, and don't forget to subscribe to Faithful Angelenos. We talk LA sports here. Thank you for watching. I'm James. We'll be back later today with Rams and Chargers previews. Faithful Angelenos is a Kian Corte El Queso production. Take care.